Have you ever noticed how your experiences show up in the way you trade without you trying to connect them? Almost as if your trading is reflecting the way you live. We like to think that our activities are isolated, that what happens in your life stays in your life, and what happens on the charts stays on the charts. If that were true, it would mean that we were looking at the market objectively. But that's not how perception works. You're never looking at the charts directly. You're looking at it through everything that is shaping your attention, your patience, and your decision making. And that changes from day to day and over your lifetime. That's why two people trading the exact same strategy can look at the exact same chart and see completely different things. And even more important, act differently. We like to believe we can separate things easily. This belongs to your life, that belongs to trading, but that separation is an illusion. An illusion Leonardo da Vinci spent his entire life actively rejecting. Da Vinci didn't separate disciplines. To him, art, science, engineering, anatomy, they were all expressions of the same underlying patterns. His curiosity had no boundaries, and because of that, neither did his perception. He studied birds to understand flight, water to understand movement, the human body to understand form and structure. And those insights didn't stay confined to one field. They showed up everywhere in his work. From painting to science to engineering, what he developed was not just knowledge or expertise in one domain. It was transferable recognition across domains. He was seeing the same principles in different disguises. In my own life, I apply the same mindset, and it has a direct effect on how I live and how I trade. Let me give you a couple examples. Going to the gym teaches me delayed gratification. It takes a long time of seemingly no visible change before you start noticing real improvement in your physique. In the meantime, you have to learn how to value small, incremental progress. And that same patience shows up in trading, where results are slow, and you have to stay consistent without immediate reward. Playing music, whether it's piano or ukulele, puts me into a different state. I cannot rush it, I cannot force it, and if I'm not fully present, it immediately falls apart. And that same presence shows up in trading, where the more I try to think ahead, the more I lose what's actually in front of me. Learning surfing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu teach me patience in a very physical way. I don't take every opportunity. I wait, sometimes for a long time, for the right wave or the right opening from my opponent. And that same selectivity shows up in trading, where the hardest skill is not finding opportunities, but knowing which ones to ignore. None of these things look related, but over time they've all shaped the same outcome: how I behave when it actually matters. And this concept goes far deeper than most people realize. It's not just the activities you do that shape your trading. It's your habits, your interactions, your emotional patterns, the way you respond when someone interrupts you, the way you react when things don't go your way. All of it is being trained somewhere. And then it shows up in your trading without asking for permission. Trading doesn't lay the foundation for your behavior. It reveals it. You don't suddenly become impatient when you enter a bad trade. You just act on what was already there. You don't suddenly become emotional when you see a loss. You just lose the buffer that usually contains it. So what you thought were small, unrelated parts of life are actually training grounds for internal patterns that simply express themselves across different rooms. And the market happens to be a room where there are consequences. So if everything is connected, the question is not just what should I change about my trading, but what in me is being expressed through my trading. Because nothing enters your execution that didn't already exist in you. Your habits, your attention, your patience, your emotions, everything is already moving before you place that trade. Therefore, improvement does not come from separating trading from your life, but from realizing there was never a separation to begin with. Da Vinci saw it clearly. Different fields, same patterns. Different moment in life, same trader. So when you look at the market, you're looking at it through your own lens, under pressure, in real time. And that is why how you live is how you'll trade. But recognizing that changes nothing by itself. It's not about understanding what a good trader is, it's about stopping the argument and becoming one. That's what we'll explore in the final video of this archetype series, inspired by a line from Marcus Aurelius. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. If you want to see that, feel free to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and I'll see you there. Goodbye for now.